All right, hello there, welcome to this edition of Sales Today, and today I'll be talking about the concluding part of type of selling. Of course, in the earlier section I said selling is the exchange of goods or service within two parties for an agreed price, and of course you should be able to meet up the other party's interest while you sell to your own price to gain or to grow your revenue in any case. And of course the first part we talked about transactional selling, and also we talked about the provocative selling. Today we are concluding this section where I'm talking about first what I call a solution selling. All right, from the name itself, it talks about solution itself. Now, this happens when either you get a prospective client or a client call in, all right, to tell you about the problem that he has, and based on that problem itself, you have to really sell to the client's needs. It's not about what you feel or you talking about your product. It's about talking about how your product benefit can be tailored made in such a manner that it fits into the client's areas of concern. And what I'm saying in essence is that the client may come into your office to talk about the fact that he has an issue with his cable wires in his house, and of course every time that they bring in light or they bring up the light in any case, or there's fluctuations in the light itself, all the wires and his appliances at home get burnt out, and based on that he needs something that is better to be able to service that itself. Now, going into solution selling, you must first of all understand that you have to build a rapport. You need to ask intelligent questions from the client, and of course get to understand from the point at which the client is talking about. You don't just jump into solution itself or giving the client something that you think in your mind will work. First, you may ask the client, sir, can I understand the kind of appliances that you are using at home itself? All right, what are your peak period where you tend to use most of your appliances as well? What kind of wires are you using currently now itself, and all the rest itself? So you look at in between all these things that the clients use, and based on the capacity of the client's appliances and his load that is on that itself, you can now begin to suggest to the client the kind of capacity wires or cables that the client can buy for his housing or for his roofing or for his exchange of all the existing ones itself. And of course the client can begin to see reasons why they need to go into that. So invariably solution selling talks about the client needs itself. You build a rapport, you ask intelligent questions, you know the areas of the client pains to be able to make it again by using your product to satisfy those needs itself. And of course, more importantly, you ensure that you tailor your solution to meeting up the client's specific need. Why the final one I call is consultative selling. All right, this is also more like the solution selling, but it's just that this goes a bit further in ensuring that you warm up the client, you build rapport, and this has a longer sales cycle as compared with the solution selling, because most of the time clients we meet in this kind of consultative selling have a predetermined idea of what they want, of what they think they want. Let me use that word itself. But being a solution or a consultant or a salesperson, having a better understanding of what your product offers with the knowledge of what the client is going to explain to you, you can now begin to consult with the client to see how best you can give the client the best product that service is need. An example of such is an individual may come into your store to say he wants a phone, all right, a specific model, just because you want to snap picture and also make basic calls and reply messages basically. And of course he just feels, based on what he feels he needs the phone for, he needs just a specific type of phone. But because you are well versed in that very knowledge itself, and you have a good product knowledge of what to sell, what you have to ask is to ask the client intelligent questions. So can I ask you, what niche or what area of industry do you service itself? Let's say the client service or is in the fashion industry, and of course for those people that are in the fashion industry, it's important that they have a very good high resolution cameras to be able to capture their products so clearly and be able to project it on their e-commerce website for clients to be able to access it in any case. So invariably you need a camera that is very bright and has high resolution pixel to be able to really capture that kind of picture that is intended to arouse the client interest to purchase. Secondly, you need a camera that has a bigger RAM, a phone that has a bigger RAM, a processing system that can be able to download the needed softwares to be able to edit pictures and do XYZ. You need a phone that will be able to do X amount of work, reply mails, and also be able to connect to Google Meet, Zoom, and also be able to employ the technological know-how to making sure that the client is able to maximize the use of the phone for the benefit of his business. So based on that itself, you're now consulting with the client, making sure the client change his preconceived idea of what it feels will serve him better to what you have been able to diagnose as the best things to serve the client in that regard. And by so doing itself, the client gets a better understanding of what he feels he needs and a better and upgraded version of the kind of product that will service him for better and for longer in any case. And based on this itself, you are able to build better rapport, you're able to create satisfaction with the client, and of course you're going to have repeated sales in that regards and also more referrals. All right, so this concludes this segment of type of selling. The first, I call it transactional selling. Second is solution selling. Third, I call it provocative selling. And the final one we just talked about now is consultative selling. Of course, you can really register in any of our ongoing sales program where you can have easy access and one-on-one attention being